All right, so I'm gonna start this again. If you are watching this for the first time, stop now, go to my profile and click on story time, and don't look at the episode, but look at the label that says story time part 1. 2020, we had just buried my son's papa. 5 days later, his dad is released from prison after 4 years. To say our emotions were all over the place is an understatement. At this time, I didn't know where my son's father was going. I told him that he could not come here. I needed to know his mind was right, and there were certain steps he wasn't willing to take. So at that point, I knew that maybe he wasn't fully ready. So he was released. I did not know where he was staying. So there was a lot of emotions, a lot of mixed emotions. But my son was about to go to junior high. He had just lost his papa, his entire world. And he was experiencing grief for the first time. He had lost his Mimi, but he was little. He had lost my dad, but again, he was little. But he knew deep emotion and deep grief when we lost his papa. He did not want to see his dad, so I respected that. I didn't push him, and I told his dad that when he's ready, or if he wants to see you, he will let you know. During this time, it's a week, 2 weeks pass, hurricane hits. And of course I'm frustrated because there's limbs down, there's damage everywhere. But as always, I figure it out. About 3 weeks, I believe, after him being released, I had asked him if he had been out to the cemetery to visit his dad. And he said he hadn't. I asked him if he wanted to, and he said he did. Keep in mind, he didn't have a vehicle. He didn't have a home. He literally had nothing but the clothes on his back that he went to prison with. So I see him for the first time. I don't want to say in 4 years, because I had seen him because he had been on work release and I would go and visit him. But he was free. Knocked on the door, and my heart, I don't even know what it felt. But I tried so hard to put a wall up. Because right now my number one was my little boy, and I needed to protect him. So I let him in, and I didn't know whether to jump in his arms, hug him, embrace him. And I think I just told him, go see your son. So he goes and opens the door, and they hug, they embrace, and we head out to the cemetery. And it's as if nothing had changed. Like no time had passed. We were a family. He was sitting directly across from me, and it's as if everything that we had been through was just gone. And we were together. But I was strong, and I sent him back. Some things transpired. He ended up coming to our house, and I want to say everything was just cupcakes and rainbows, but it wasn't. But for the two of us, it was as if we were on our honeymoon, because we were getting to experience things for the first time ever. At this point, I did not care what anyone thought. I had been doing this for 14, 15 years. It was my time. I had fought for this, and nobody could say anything because they hadn't been in my shoes. They have no clue what I went through or what I continue to go through. I know when my family would come around before he had moved in with us, and there was just like the elephant in the room nobody wanted to talk about. I know they wanted to ask where he was, and it just wasn't discussed. They wanted nothing to do with him. They didn't want him near us. But at this point, if you remember me telling you back during the COVID shutdown, my eyes were opened, and I realized that at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for me, my son, and my family. And that's what I was doing. I had been released to be free of the opinions of others, and to do what my heart desired, what my heart always told me from day one, and that was to fight for him. And I have been fighting for him ever since. So he's back home with us. We're a family. Emotions are everywhere. And I'm gonna take this story bit by bit. So stay tuned for the rest.